3 and verse 6. Now we command thee, brethren, Paul doesn't beat around the bush. The brother is not to walk with the disorderly. I know men who insist that we should go into the bar rooms, sit down with the drunkard, and have a beer with him as we witness to him. Unfortunately, I know of a young lady who became an alcoholic by following that procedure. God says that we are to withdraw ourselves from the disorderly. Certainly, we are to witness with them, but we are not to fraternize on their level. God makes it very clear whom we are to follow. And this is get me back to my snake illustration: wolf, bear, lion. Those, especially the Bible talks about wolves and vipers that are in the church. Well, if I had a snake in the house and I couldn't kill it, and get it out of the house, I'd avoid it. If I saw where it was, I would keep my eye on it, make sure I knew where it was, and I would stay away from it. The same way, if you unfortunately in the church, we have wolves and we have vipers. So you note those who are wolves and vipers, and we learn to stay away from them, especially if the pastor or the rest of the church won't do anything about them. And so the bad thing is, a lot of people want to, there's a old cliche or saying, that keep a friend closer, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. And so they want to talk to them. They want to keep them close. They want to buddy up to them. Well, the problem is whenever you start talking to them, you're better off not having any fellowship with them, not communicating with them at all, because if you do talk to them, then they're going to say that you said something that you didn't say. So if you don't have any communication with them, then they can't lie about what that you may have said to them. And so that you're better off staying away from these individuals. Great. So then in verse 7, for yourselves know how ye ought to follow us, for we have not ourselves disorderly among you. Let me read that again. That didn't make sense to me. For yourselves know how ye ought to follow us, for we behaved not ourselves disorderly among you. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3 and verse 7. Birds of a feather flock together. You will be like the coward, the crowd you run around with. Believers need to be very careful about the company they keep and the people of whom they associate. One of the things I tell people is in every church there is a remnant. Keep close to the remnant. In my church, I get Debbie and Buddy. They study the word. They know the word. They're part of the remnant. I've got Diane's the treasurer, and Anne, and Anne, and we've got several who that are true Christians in the remnant in our church, and so you stick close to those people that that are spiritually inept, or not inept, spiritually discerned, and are able to support you and to heal you whenever that you're attacked by the vipers and the snakes that are in the church. Now, you may say, well, then that's a reason not to go to church at all. If it's full of vipers and wolves, well, the problem is the predator wants to get the little lamb away from the flock so he can kill it. So that's the whole point. Is Satan is there. That's why he's in church on Sunday morning. He wants to drive you away from the church so that you'll be alone, so that he can then devour you and destroy you completely. Kill, steal, and destroy. He kills you, but he destroys every evidence that you ever existed. So that